Hey everyone, it's Makeup by Leanne, Holistic Health and Beauty. Leanne here on the first day of the month, the 1st of May. And I'm so super excited to be on here today with my new special guest for the month, who is going to absolutely blow the socks off all of you. My theme for this month is all about happiness. And while we wait for her to get on, I will just share a little bit about this subject because I've been doing a little bit of research myself. So if you're following me and my journey, you'll see that all the social media, all the messaging that I'm putting out for this month of May will be around the theme happiness. So I found this really interesting stat that said that from Harvard Business Review that said that happy people are 31% more productive and have 37% higher sales and 3 times more creative. And there's this theory that says that you actually need to be, you basically, once you do great work, then you'll be happy and that will create success. But the theory is actually that you need to be happy first. And by being happy first, you can actually create great work. And through that, you will actually achieve great success. So you have to basically change the way you look at things. And then the things that you look at will change. And by changing your attitude, you can actually change the way you look at things and your perception of things. And that will actually create more happiness. Like if you can view the world from a better place, going within, you will actually be able to, your perception of something is actually creates your reality. So I'm just waiting for Linda to come on. Doesn't seem like she's on yet. Yes, she's there. She's coming. I can see one person's watching me. If that's Linda, can you let me know? Otherwise, I will jump off here again and start all over. There she is. Hi, Linda. Bring them on the camera. I'm going to just add her on now. I'm just adding you, Linda. So once you accept it, connecting. Yes. Linda's here. Hello. Can't hear you. Yeah.
No?
I can hear, yeah, I can hear you
Can you
now.
hear me
That's
yet?
so cool.
Oh, great.
I'm good. I'm
Wonderful.
good.
How
I'm
are
happy. Oh, you're
you?
wearing pink today. I love that.
I am wearing pink
I
today. Yes. Do you like
I
the pink?
do.
I know you like the red. Thank you so much for your feedback. I got
Oh,
pink
good. I've
blouse
got my
and
cup
pink
too.
cup.
I'm doing. Oh, I should do it that way. That's my cup. Yeah, so I was just sharing that my topic for this month is all about happiness. And
Yes.
I've done,
Yes.
read a couple of books around happiness and I've done some research and I've read your book, of course. And I just like when I was thinking,
Thank you.
I need to be able to bring the best person that I possibly know that is close to my heart to share with my network
Oh,
around love and connection and your book.
oh,
So here it is. Like I'm obsessed, absolutely obsessed.
oh,
Um,
oh,
so
thank
Linda,
you. Thank you.
I don't actually want to waste more of my time talking because we're talking about a very special lady here. I just want to introduce her properly. So just give me this moment of glory, Linda, before you take over. So,
Sure.
Linda
Thank
John
you.
is currently a motivational speaker, author, and thought leader in happiness and connection. She is an in-demand life coach, parenting coach, who has also helped many of her clients to attain and reignite their happiness by connecting with themselves, with others, and with the universe. Linda has been interviewed by industry peer leaders in the field of coaching and featured on national television, global radio broadcasts and in leading newspapers and magazines. She has travelled the world and connects with multicultural individuals and groups beyond the spoken language. But to be honest, that is only probably the tip of the iceberg of what this gorgeous lady is all about. And I'm so honoured and grateful to have you here today to share
thank you,
with us a little bit more about you, your book, and your thoughts around the topic happiness. So just to kick it off, I was just sharing with the audience when we started that, you know, happiness is kind of something that we all think that we need to do some great work, and by doing that we can actually be happy, or we can, I don't know, once we've got that perfect job, or once we've got that perfect relationship, or once we move house, or once we get that promotion at work, or once we're earning more money, we can be happier. But actually it's not that at all. What I've learned from my own personal experience and by just listening to other people like yourself and other leaders is that happiness comes from within, and we need to, and it's the perception that we have of what we have right now that creates our reality.
Yes.
So just to kick it off, I want to keep, because we could talk for hours, I want to keep to the question.
Yes, we can. It's a great topic.
So just to kick it off, you know, you've written this incredible book. It got number one on Amazon, like, you know, held that position. You can buy this book now internationally and in Australia. But what actually inspired you to write this book? You know, how did you come up with this notion of connecting and happiness, and like what inspired you to actually to get this out into the world? And
yeah, sure. So I will backtrack a little bit and then we'll share the details. So the book actually has achieved #1 bestseller in Australia, in Canada, in UK, and #5 in US. So making a #1 international bestseller. So I lived it pretty much. The book shares my whole journey. It's quite personal. It's my whole life journey after 43 years, because I started sharing from the age of 5 in the book. So it's many stories, and I pretty much lived it, right? So as I was growing up, I was always sharing with people. I was always sharing. But the funny thing is, I was always a very shy girl. I was very shy, very anxious. You know, like I speak to more people now. Naturally, I get invited more and more, but I was always very quiet. Yet the interesting thing is, when I have a one-to-one time, I loved it, right? So I was always sharing stories, and people always say at the end of the conversation, they would always say, you know what, you should write it. This is especially so when I had my bridal shop. In 2001, I had my bridal shop, and I was always helping people all my life, but more so when I had my bridal shop. The brides were at the end of, you know, they're trying the gowns, picking up the gowns. They will always share with me what they want to do next, or what they want to do will make them happy, because, you know, they're getting married, they're excited, but then they're also emotional and nervous and anxious, all of those emotions. And I actually have helped some brides start their business as well. And at the end, they will always say, Linda, you got to write a book. You got to write a book to help more people. And I was like, yeah, one day I will, because I was running the bridal shop. So that already stayed in my mind for a long time. That's 2001 is when I had the bridal shop. And so as my life journey goes, becoming a parent, you know, the kids are growing up, I just thought in 2016, I just thought, I want to write this book because I so miss my parents, and I so wish that they write their story for me before they were too old, right? And they come to Australia, they can't write English. So I thought, I'm going to do it now before my life becomes too busy, or I'm too old to record everything else. So initially, the intention was for my children. But amazing things happen, right? You know, when you tune in, you're really guided, you know, with all the messages. So as I was writing the book, the first draft was finished. I was on a forum like your forum, right? I have on the Facebook forum with business friends. We all trying to achieve our dream. You know, we all trying to establish our business. You know, I at that time, I really flew to America to train as a professional life coach. Now, like I said, I have already helped people all my life. But at this point in time, My daughter was in grade 3. I was ready to reestablish myself to work full time. So I flew to America to train as a life coach. So I came back, I was writing the book, or it's like getting ready to reestablish my new path in life, you know, my new career path. In this forum, we had a lady who literally just announced, my boss has allowed me to take 2 days off. This is a 9 to 5 job that she has. And I'm going to be able to, you know, action my life dream, have my dream job, starting her own business. The next thing we heard is she passed away. So when someone's just about to achieve their dream, their life ended. And that was just like the biggest message. Like, I gotta share this message because I want to help more people before our time come. My time and their time. I don't know when our time's gonna come. Right. And so right at the same time, there was 2 more news that really urged me to actually drop everything. I didn't see any clients. I dropped everything and just full on write a book to get it out. So after she passed away, so at 12 midnight, and at that time I didn't use Facebook as much. I don't know, for whatever reason, at 12 midnight I had a message. Say, please pray for Caroline. She's in the hospital. And then again, I don't know, whatever happens at 3 a.m. I look at it, she passed away. It was just like that. It was just like that. You know, today she's about to achieve her dream. At 12 midnight, I still get goosebumps now. At 12 midnight, she's in the hospital. At 3 a.m., she's gone. She's left us. And so that was the biggest message that I've got. If today was my last day, what has to happen? I have to share this message. I have to share what I found that helped me. Sorry, we're going to get emotional now. So then the same weekend, on another forum, it was, you know, be the change for the change makers, right? A child passed away, 11 years old, I think 10, 11 years old. Now, I don't know these people, but it was in that forum, one of the mom's friends, school friends' son. In fact, it was the forum leaders, her son's school friend. And then very same time, I saw a news. Now, this not related to me at all. I don't know them, but it hits me. It was a teenage suicidal from depression, from not being happy. Right. So all of these 3 cases, you know, 3 is the powerful number, yeah. So all of these three things, 3 incidents, had made me realize that no matter what, I'm going to have to share this story now. I'm going to have to share what I found that helped me, because I feel as almost like, you know, it's too selfish, right? When you know something and you don't share. And so that was the drive to share in a bigger sense. But at first, I was just going to share with my own children only, because it's quite personal, right? It's a whole life journey. When you read it, you know it's very personal. And all of those stories are all personal stories. But we are our story, you know, our story is what make us who we are, right? And so I just want to share it from an authentic place, where exactly how my life was and how it helped me. And so that's
amazing.
what got
you
me
know,
to
you
share
said
the
one
book.
thing in there that just stood out, and that was, if today was your last day, what would you do? What would you do?
What must happen? What must, not what would you do? What must happen? What must happen?
Because I learn.
Great, thank you. Yeah. Yes, what must happen if you only have 1 month left, 1 year left, 10 years left. Okay, I'm extending because I don't want to cause any stress. Right. So true, stress is the last thing I want to do. If this was the one time in your life, no, don't think big. Don't think that you have to, I never thought anything big, right? I never thought that whatever, you know, big impact, change maker, none of those. All I wanted, sincerely, was just to share what I found worked for me. And if it helps someone, even just one person,
and now
I've done my job.
And now through this book,
that was the
and the fact that you get to speak on the international stage, you get to do podcasts, you get to work with such incredibly amazing humans. I mean, just what you've done this week is unreal. In some of the work you've done in the community, like, just, you are literally helping millions and millions of people. And I'm just so
Yes,
like, seriously, I'm just so happy to be on this journey with you, because through my
oh,
business
thank
and my
you.
vehicle, I
Thank
know I
you.
can bring more people. You know, we can help more people
Yes.
together as well. So,
Yes. So one of my quotes is, together we connect and make the world a happier place, a better place. Because when one person that we help, when they are better, whether it's healthier, look better with your makeup, feel happier from the inside, the happiness doesn't just stay with them, right? When once he is happier, they can be a better parent, happier parent for the kids. They can be happier spouse for the husband, wife, and it doesn't stay there. It doesn't just stay in the family, right? I mean, we haven't even mentioned the extended family, your own siblings, right, and your friends, and at work too, and your clients too. Because when you're happier, you deal with your clients differently. You have more patience, you have more compassion, you have more understanding, you smile more, and so the happiness doesn't just stay with one person. But I just like to share that don't think big though, because sometimes when we talk about change making, impacting, it all sounds overwhelming. It all sounds so big. And it's like, where do I begin? So I don't want, anyone to listen to feel like, oh, I must do something. This is my last day. What am I going to do? I got to find something big. No, that's not what I mean. What I really mean is that ask yourself, what is it that I really like to do that bring me joy or has meaning? What's something that I really do if this was the last day of my life? What is it that I really, really wish to do? Just do that. Just do that one thing, and amazing magic happens. Because when you're happy, when you're joyful, you do it with your brilliance. You do it with your whole being, and everybody else feel it, and everybody else gets the benefit from that. So in the book, I talk about authenticity, about honoring about your own feelings. If you're happy, show it. If you're sad, share it. That's how we can help. Because if you're sad and you're holding it, then nobody knows to help.
yeah, yeah.
Nobody, yeah. So that's how
I know, it's
the whole
incredible.
book
And
journey.
yeah, you're going to see more of that book coming around everywhere.
Yeah. So yesterday I was at the Community Migrant Resource Center event at Park Royal, Parramatta, to help all the entrepreneurs. And yes, it was amazing. I had a lady come to my table and she was having this block, and as soon as she finished saying, it was just so instinctive. I just gave her the answer, and she go, oh, "That's all I needed to hear."
And that's
It
the
was just
thing,
so
Linda,
beautiful
is that
moment. And we took a
you know,
photo.
I've connected with
Yeah.
you know, I'm always connecting with beautiful coaches, and everybody is so unique and amazing.
And I know, and that's why we're here.
But
You're
the
just
one thing that
amazing
I found with
connector.
you is you just have this like instant, like it's like this instant like knowing. Like we don't need to necessarily book a session. Like a session's great, but you just have that immediate
No,
instant where you can give
no.
someone like a word or a sentence or a piece of advice that they just like literally can change their course in an instant. And you saw that yesterday, and I was just blown away. I'm just blown away every time I spend time with you. So my question number
Thank
two is,
you. That's why all the moms love the coffee chats. When I
oh,
was
and
doing school with my kids,
I do actually
moms
need to
love
tell the
coffee
story.
chat
I know
with
I'm
me.
backtracking, I'm going to track here, but Linda and I actually met at the library at our local daughter's school. Okay. So, Linda is,
Yes,
it's funny,
yes.
people like hide behind the titles, but Linda is literally a mum of, like us all, living in the same suburb as me. And
Yes, yes. And this is the first time I do this live interview
yes,
at the
that's
same time zone, because all of these interviews is all international. The very first one was with someone in London. So with Europe, it's harder to match timing. And that was the one in 2016,
Yeah.
before any book was out. Before any of my book was out, I had that one. And then I do it with America a lot,
Yeah.
Philippines. Yeah, this is the first one, Sydney and Sydney Samsa, but how
Well,
amazing.
for those of you who haven't read Linda's book or don't know much about her, you know, she immigrated here to Australia as a young girl and couldn't even speak English. Um,
No, at the age of 15, could not even speak English. Absolutely anxious, shy, and all of those
yeah, I
introvert that
know.
you talk about.
And you know what? Like, yeah, she's written,
Yeah.
and she's not only written one book, she's written several books, and you know, international speaker and beyond. So, an inspiring mentor and coach for millions of people. So, yeah, like literally today is like gold. So, question number 2. Research has suggested that
Yes.
only 10% of our happiness is based on life circumstances, and the other 90% of our
Mm.
happiness is based on our genetic predisposition and the specific things that we do to improve our happiness.
Okay.
So that means that you can actually train your
Mm.
brain to be happy. Now, what
Absolutely.
suggestions can you give
Absolutely.
us that are watching here to help with this based on your
Yes.
life
Yes.
experiences?
Yeah. So if we were to put everything like what the research say, 90%. So I'm born Asian, I came without a word of English, so I would be doomed not happy then, right? Simply said, you know. And so what about all of those people are born differently? You know, I call them differently able. So even though they say it's 10%, I don't believe it's 10%, right? But what can we do? The smallest thing. The smallest thing is the easiest thing to do and is the quickest thing to take action. My first thing is always get out in nature. Get out in nature. It's a if you can't, we have internet these days. It's very handy. Put on YouTube of nature scenes. It's beautiful and relaxing music. Why? Because a lot of things in life we might not be able to control, but there's a lot that we can control as well. So we do what we can, right? Now, if you say, I don't have money, I don't have time, I don't have blah, 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 you can give me all of the reasons, right? But just get out for 2 minutes. Just get out of your mind space for 2 minutes to just be with nature. Nature has amazing healing power and have amazing power to give joy. If you truly be with it, have you ever witnessed a flower grow and open? Have you actually seen the smallest bird and go, like, you know, it's just amazing. It's fascinating, you know, it's all those little things. Sometimes, you know, I'll have tired days, you know, feeling not really with it, miserable. I just get out in the sun if it's a sunny day. I just stood in the sun for 5 minutes. That's all you need. You don't need hours. You stand there for 5 minutes. The sun warms you, literally give you energy. It's the simplest thing we can do, you know. So it's just look for the smallest thing in life. Now I haven't even go to gratitude. I haven't gone about, you know, look at all the things that that you have and all of those, right? But there are so many millions of little ways, you know. I mean, a lot of people talk about gratitude a lot, like, you know, look at the things that you have and be grateful for it, right? And all of those, you might not be in the mood to do it, right? Maybe on that day, I'm not in that mood to do gratitude thing, you know, I'm grumpy, I'm not happy, I'm tired. You tell me
Yeah.
to, like, do you know what I mean? So just get out of your own space, just be out in the air, be out in the sun. If it's a rainy day, like I said, just put on YouTube with the nature scene. Like if you like mountain, look for mountain scenes. I like beach. I like parks, trees. If you don't like any of those, just look for anything
Mm.
that piques your interest. Okay. Like that's why they
Yeah.
started Pinterest. You
Yeah.
know, you can
That's
pin
right.
things that interest you.
So other than nature, you
Yes.
mentioned
Yes.
gratitude.
So that.
But that's interesting. I've never
Mm,
heard anyone say when you're not feeling like it, don't put pressure on yourself and just, yeah.
no, it won't work from my point of view because I'm
Yeah.
all about practicality and I'm all about simplicity. The simplest thing that the simpler things are, the easier we take action. Because I find that we are too intelligent these days, right?
Yeah.
Compared to a long, long time ago. I have this privilege of living in between time. So I was growing up in a black and white TV era, right? So I've seen, and particularly coming from Vietnam, I see how primitive, how primitive things are, and how simple things worked well. Whereas now we're really advanced, we have technology, we have everything, but then we complicate things as well. And that's the next book I'm writing as well. But even in this book, I have also shared that, when things are complicated, we get in a tangle, so the simpler it is, the easier it's to do. So when you don't feel like it, there's no point in forcing yourself. It just won't work. You might do it, but what about your intention? Is your mood, your true, what I like to share is our true emotion, true feelings. Honoring our true feelings is what it is, the true happiness. Because you could be la la la, some people could be laughing all the time, smiling all the time, but you don't know if they're truly happy or not, right? So everything you do, everything I do, I want to make sure that it translates that. It means that, because otherwise you confuse yourself. Am I happy or am I not happy? That's why a lot of people live in confusion, So when you don't feel like it, don't do it. Don't do it. Do it when you feel like it, because that's honoring yourself. No one will know your true feelings, and no one can honor it better than you honoring yourself.
Cool. Question number 3 was, you say in your book that you can access your happiness with or without that $1 million in the bank account, because the new currency is connection. Please, can you elaborate what this actually means?
Yes. So basically, like I said, right, connecting with yourself, connecting with the environment, with nature. Have you ever been to a place, fancy place, eat amazing food, but you just really don't feel it? Have you ever felt that? I remember I had a date. I remember I had a date in my 20s, and we were at Darling Harbour. Beautiful. And that time, Darling Harbour just opened up for a whole new lot of restaurant. It was one of the most fancy restaurants. And ironically, it was actually my birthday, right? And my date was trying to surprise me. So he was trying to hide everything so that it's complete surprise. But in the midst of doing it, he did not realize that he was actually so stressed out to try and make it a complete surprise in the midst of doing. I don't know if you could relate. I don't know if you get what I mean. He was like so serious about it that he was all tensed up and all stressed out. And I'm sitting there like, am I having dinner on my own here? Because we were not connecting. His mind was off organizing it behind the scene. Like he was so seriously stressed about it that I was sitting there like, I'm having dinner on my own here, like, feel really disconnected. Right. And so that's what I meant, right? Like I have talked to so many people. They could be on a yacht, they could be driving a fancy car, and they still don't feel happy inside. Like all of these stuff. What does it mean? Often you hear story from a lot of wealthy people, like they have everything, but inside they still quite feel hollow. It is that truly knowing your true feelings, and you're truly connecting. When you make a coffee, a cup of tea, right? Are you sipping, really enjoying that taste, that moment? Or are you drinking your sorrow and worries? Or are you drinking about the worry about the bills, about the next meeting, about the problem? Are you really drinking the coffee, or are you drinking your problem? So that's what I mean by connecting. Like, have I blown your mind away now? You keep shaking your head.
Oh my God. Unreal.
But isn't it true? Sometimes we're drinking a coffee, but we're not really enjoying that taste. We're not really connecting with that moment. We're really thinking about, oh my God, the bills, the clients, to this, do I need to, how many more sales do I need to make? Right? You're not really enjoying a coffee. You're actually really drinking the problem.
We find that when we're connecting in like relationships as well, we're being present in the moment.
Mm.
is,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean with that date, right? We were supposed to be
yeah,
enjoying the beautiful
yeah,
moment, connecting with each other, even though with all the good intention,
yeah,
but the connection was blocked away. Because why? Because of the hustle bustle of trying to do things, you know, you're trying to go through the motion of doing things, but forgetting the meaning of being together. The actual meaning of being together is you and I connecting, meaning relating to each other, knowing what we actually say, knowing how it feels. Like now you're absorbing everything I say. We're connecting, truly connecting, because I can feel you, you know, that you're feeling me, right? But in that scenario, the only reason why I want to show it didn't mean to be judgmental of any way at all, but it was a typical example to share, and it's real life example. Of course, I'm not going to say which day it is. I don't mean that. But all I mean is that everything I share in the book
yeah,
is from my real life experience. You know, I didn't share it from a place like, you know, a scientist or a doctor or a psychologist as such. I share it from a place of my own experience, literally just to connect, to share with people how we can connect
and like,
authentically.
I'll never forget this saying from Dr. Wayne Dwyer where he says, the past is history, the future is a mystery, and the present
Mm.
is a gift.
And, you know, so many people say about change the future. You can't yet change the future. You can change the present moment. If you be in the present moment, watch what you do, because I like to elaborate on
Yeah,
Dr. Wayne Dyer's quote. It's a great quote, right? But change, do what you can now. Then you can guide your future. The future is not here yet, so you can't change it. You can't change the future, but you can change now. Here and now, be here and now present. Connecting with what you do, connecting with what you're feeling, you're thinking, feeling, everything. That's connection. So
yeah, but
sorry, that's a long way to answer
it
your
makes sense.
question. That's the, I hope I
Yeah,
can share the
but
word connection
yeah, so it's not
truly,
just about connecting
properly.
with people authentically, but it's actually connecting with the present moment, wherever that is for you, and also connecting
Everything. Yes,
with
yes.
yourself. I think it's
Because
also
you can't,
connecting with yourself, like your inner self.
oh yeah, yeah. Because you cannot connect with other people properly on a deep level
Yeah,
when you don't have it in yourself. Other people can help though. Sometimes when there's a situation, someone who's a bit lost, the loved ones, families, and friends can help when they come and offer that connection, right? So because connection's two ways, right? When they intended to come and help you, then that works. But for you to go and help with other people is a lot more effective when you know it yourself. But like I said, there are times that from connecting with other people, in that process, it help you guide you to
yeah,
rediscover yourself as well. So it's a circle of love. It's just, you know, love is beautiful. Connection is a whole circle of emotions. It's not a one-way thing. So in the book, I was
yeah,
trying to say it's a two-way direction. You
yeah,
can't just go one
yeah.
way, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 4, in your book, you make mention of the 5 key areas, the 5 Fs. I'll let you talk about those. And I
Yes.
found this extremely practical
Yeah.
and relevant because it actually covers all the main life values that we have. So, just for the audience, can you explain what
Yes.
are these 5 Fs,
Yes.
and like how did you come about them, and just explain a
Yes.
little bit about what they are, because I think it's magical.
Sure. How I came about them is when I was in the school at in year 10. That's where this whole journey began, yeah. When I came at the age of 15, I didn't know a word of English, and so I wasn't happy. I was trying to find a book that can help me to find my happiness. Now I was only 15 and I didn't have English language skill. And all the books back then was written by the philosophers, academias, you know, spiritual leaders. I could not understand any of them because of my limited English skill. I mean, kids these days are a lot more advanced, right? Because they get a lot more information, so they build up. But I came from a world of nowhere. I didn't know anything about the outside world, coming from a black and white world, and suddenly teleported here. And so I was really unhappy, right? So I was really looking for my happiness. And so one day in the school ground, I was thinking, why am I not happy? What is it that will make me happy? And at 15, you have a lot of questions about life, right? You want to know everything, right? So I was thinking, I have no outside friends besides family and besides just the one or two at school that I could talk to because I was really shy. I couldn't speak much English. So I did have a couple of friends that I can talk to. So I literally one day just look at my palm. I just look at my palm because I hear so many adults say, work, work, get money, be rich, blah, blah, blah. Right? And I'm thinking, is it true? For me, like I can't work yet. I'm 15, right? I'm still at school, but how can I be happy? So I looked down on my palm. I said to myself, right, I want to, well, mom and dad, because I'm only 15, so that's family. I have a couple of friends that I could talk to. So I thought family, friends. And of course, we need money, right? Because, we just came here, we had nothing. We were wearing clothes from Smith family donations. So of course, you need money. And then at that time, I have already loved outdoor. I go bushwalking a lot, like just walking in the park. So fitness, you need to be healthy. And I remember I went on a canoeing with friends, and I loved it, rowing, canoeing. So I decided that I need family, need friends, we need money, we need to be outdoor. Because I love outdoor ever since in Vietnam, right? So I thought we need to be fit. And the last one, I was 15, right? I haven't really had boyfriend yet, but everyone talking about boyfriend, right? But then, so that must be it, right? So it was like contemplating on this little finger. Is that it? Is it just finding a boyfriend and getting married? But then at the same time, I can see a lot of unhappy marriages. So I was, cluey enough to say, I'm going to hold this. It's yet to be determined. And so as life goes on, this little finger has expanded.
Yep.
And do we have time? If we have time, I read a little. This is the last one. So the five elements is five F: family, friends, finance, fitness, and fidelity. Right. Fidelity is something that I would like to share. So I don't know how to do the screen properly, but it's
Yep.
backward chapter 11, happiness in fidelity, right? So I'm just gonna read this a little bit for you. So now I can't really show on the screen, but this first line here, right? Okay. So I'm gonna read a little bit, okay? Self-love gives love for life and gives greater love, equals compassion. We gain deeper happiness and true contentment when we bring happiness to others. That's my quote. This last element of the 5 foundation elements to happiness is fidelity. This chapter is dedicated to all of the people who do charity work, community work, and volunteering work, and people like you who keep sharing happiness, Leanne. Thank you for that. They set amazing examples for us to follow, such as Mother Teresa, spiritual teacher Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh, Princess Diana, and of course my mom, Tu Nhin Le. There are many thousands of others that deserve recognition of love. I have listed only these names here as they have inspired and impacted me personally and provided answers during my quest for happiness. This is my way of honoring their selfless work and amazing contribution to the society and the world. In this chapter, I wish to discuss how fidelity relates to happiness. According to the Oxford Dictionary, fidelity means faithfulness to a person, cause, or belief, demonstrated by continuing loyalty and support. When I first think of fidelity, I thought it begins with an individual, like our life partners. Like you and many others, I used to wonder at the age of 15, does love really last forever? Can we really have the happily ever after life? And does eternal love exist? So these are my questions. And as I kept seeking for the meaning of life and searching for my happiness, I realized that there isn't just me and him or you and I, but there's all of us. And I also realized the following. While still young and in school years, happiness is found in friendships. If your best friend is upset, it upsets you. While you're dating, if you get a broken heart, all your friends and family worry about you. Sorry, I'm going to get a bit emotional now. Once you're married, your happiness is not just about the two of you. They are the extended family matters. When we hear of unforeseen circumstances happening in our neighborhood, like so many wars, in our community, or in other parts of the world, it also affects our inner peace and happiness. Therefore, fidelity is not just about two people. We are all linked to each other in one way or another. And so I've discovered that there is an external and an extended eternal love that we all have. Apart from the parental eternal love, like the love that I feel between my mom and me, even though she's no longer physically here. She has rested for 14 years now, and yet I still feel connected to her. I still feel her love and send her mine. I have been so inspired by my mom that I continue to look into what she did and the meaning of all to this day. And that is the extended eternal love we have as human beings that I'm talking about. This extended eternal love is one that can be passed on for generations to come. As we have seen from Mother Teresa, for example, her love for others will be passed on indefinitely. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. Mother Teresa.
Beautiful.
So, you know, with the love that she shared with others, those people who got impacted by her will continue to pass that on. And that's what I see. And so my little pinky had extended to be the biggest. So the last chapter is my message for all, that we all, when we think of others, when we think of the universe, we're no longer so little, you know, because we're part of a whole. We're part of this whole, my little daughter call it the big family, the global family. So the word fidelity, when we first think of it, we often think about, you know, a couple trying to have kids and can't have kids, right? And so I just like to, and with that, there's so much angst, so much disappointment, so much despair. So I just want to share, to open up our thinking, to think that there's so much more than just ourselves. When we think only ourselves, we're really just one tiny little individual amongst the whole universe. But when we can think of us all together, it makes us a little bit bigger.
Amazing. Oh my God. And this is the time that this is the time we
Sorry, I got a bit emotional there.
Oh, it's just like incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know that was you being very vulnerable and just being you and authentic and real. And I'm so happy that our audience got to hear that from you, and also have you read directly, have the author read from her book. I mean, seriously, that's just off the charts amazing.
That's because you ask great questions. I don't prepare my interviews, you know. It just, whatever question comes, I will just answer. And like sometimes it really, because that's why each interview is so different. Each interview is completely different.
We're conscious of time and we're going to wrap up, but what are the top 3 things or suggestions you can give this audience when they're seeking more happiness in their life? Just to wrap it up, top 3 things.
Yeah, the top thing I could not emphasize enough: get out to be in nature, get out of the box, whether it's a house, office. Get out as much as you can, even just 5 minutes a day. It doesn't matter how long. but just touch the ground, feel the grass, feel the sun, see the leaves, be in nature. Even just breathe the air outside is different than inside the air. And stay connected with family and friends. Now, I know not everyone can. I know not everyone can because we're a global family, you know, families everywhere. We travel, or sometimes we have families where it's disconnected. When you're in those situations, keep making friends. Don't get despair. Don't give up. Keep making new friends because our life changes. Our life changes and we moved on and everyone moved on. We cannot expect just because they're family, just because they're old friends, we cannot expect them to be with our journey the whole way. They're still there, the relationship's still there, the bond's still there, but continue to make new friends. I hear so many pains of coaches, right? Because I coach coaches as well. You know, so and so don't agree with what I do because I move on, I just blah, 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 blah. Just keep making new friends. Just keep making new friends because we cannot expect others to keep follow us the whole journey, the whole life is unfair. But when you keep making new friends, you're at the new level, your friends at your new level. So you keep keeping up, right? Then you don't have to worry about who can't keep up with you. What gives you, you know, I just don't think that it gives me any right now that I've become an author. I don't have any rights to expect my old high school friends to say, talk to me at an author level. Do you know what I mean? We all progress. We all progress. So the way to go is keep connecting, keep making new friends. It doesn't mean that you forget your old friend. Your old friends will still be there if they want your relationship. But remember, it's a two-way street. Otherwise, you don't get this. Connection is this, right? But if they're there and you're here and you can't go backward and they can't go forward, there's no point in keeping these clashes going on. So keep making new friends. Yeah. So the last one, learn something new. Learn something new. It doesn't mean you have to take up a course, doesn't mean you have to go to school. These days, internet is so handy. And I don't mean to waste time on internet. What I meant is that if you truly want to evolve and expand and grow, learn something new every day, because sometimes we can have busy life. Life could be stressful. Again, you cannot expect your partner to be where you are because we all have our own journey, right? So you can't expect others to kind of be with you to give you the happiness that you expect. Does that make sense? So if you look after yourself, your happiness grows and it passes on to them, then you can bring them with your journey. But so when you learn something new, it gives you stimulation and it gives you something new, refresh your mind, your brain, your heart, your soul. And so the three things: get outdoor, stay connected, and learn something new every day.
I love it.
Because no one knows
Linda,
everything.
thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for taking your precious time to come onto my little Facebook page and just share this with my network. A couple of things I'm going to do. I will be posting this on YouTube. So I actually do have a YouTube channel now. So anybody that is watching this now,
great, congratulations.
You can actually go back onto my YouTube channel and you can look at all the interviews that I've done with these incredible inspirational leaders in our community and beyond. Also, what I have asked Linda to kindly do is at the bottom of this post, she will actually put a link to how you can actually connect with her if you wanted to seek out her services. She is a life coach, so if you'd like to seek out her services, you could do that. Also, she will share a little bit about how you can actually purchase her book. So, you know, this is available in some of our local bookstores, also online. So she will share some links with you on how you can actually buy this book, and also some testimonials, because I think that that's really important, because literally been changing people's lives by touching them through your amazing work. And I'd love for you to also share some testimonials. So look out for that at the bottom of this in my Facebook page as well.
And please give me the rating. A lot of people send me direct testimony and they're all heartwarming, they're all beautiful, but my Facebook page has still got no rating because people forget, and I never asked. This is the first time I asked. If you enjoy it, please give a rating. This is all about commercial side of things. It doesn't really, you know, bother me, but I guess with that it can share the message more. And just one lastly, this is a little gift for Leanne. only because you said in my little world, I just like to invite you to be more open to receive, because I think you're on a great journey, and I don't think it's little anymore, because you have evolved so much. You've got a YouTube channel. Remember, we mentioned earlier that happiness doesn't stay with one person. So you're creating a ripple effect by inviting me here. So I want to congratulate you for that, and I want to say thank you so much for that. But
No,
please
not
don't think
anything.
little anymore.
Yeah.
Just think I'm being me, be you, and that's it. And it will go where it go. It will grow where it grow, and the universe will come give you messages when you're ready. But
Thank you.
no longer
Thank you.
little.
Thank
Okay.
you. So have a great day,
Thank
everyone.
you. Have a good
Bye.
day.